Hey everybody, Greg here.
My name is Katy. Today we are going to continue our new series that we have called Road Trip Acquisitions. This is going to be a series of games we've picked up on our various road trips across the country.
So, you ready to show off some games?
I think I'm ready to show off our games.
Go ahead and start.
Okay. All right, our first one we picked up, well, it wasn't the first one we picked up, it was actually one of the last ones we picked up, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. We picked up this little two-player game called Voltage. We've not gotten a chance to play it yet, but we like two-player strategy games. So when we found this at an Ollies in Kentucky, it seemed to fit the bill. So it's a little two-player card game that, from what I understand of it, you're flipping these pieces over in the middle from pluses to negatives and scoring cards based on who has more or who has less, determined on which side this piece is on.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's all I know about it so far, but I can't wait to get this guy to the table and try him out.
And this one was really inexpensive. If you don't know the whole thing about Ollies, they've got a lot of games there now that are next to nothing. I mean, you're talking games that usually cost $30 and you can find them there for like 10 or 12 bucks.
10 or 12, yeah.
I mean, it's really cool. They don't have the really high-end games though, but they do have a lot of
they're typically games that have probably been out of print for a while, or my guess is distribution centers have surpluses of them and that's why they end up there.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
So it wasn't that much, so we figured, hey, why not check it out? We'll see if it stays in our collection.
For $8, it was worth checking out.
Next thing I got is, this one also came from Ollies. I had heard about it, but I don't know a lot about it. But I figured, hey, for like, what was it, like $8? I figured, hey, why not? I mean, it is a game that's only 7 and up. It's called Galactic Quest.
This one, I was reading the back of this though. This was the grand prize winner of the 2017 Young Inventor Challenge at the Chicago Toy and Games Fair. And they show a picture of the young lady who designed the game, which I think was kind of cool. So I'm anxious to try it just for that reason. So we'll see how it works.
Yep. And for now, it's going in the collection, and then we'll see if it stays.
All right. The next one, I've heard really good things about this one. This was actually one of the last ones we picked up, not quite the last, but Project L. And we actually got a chance to play this one last night. I really enjoy it. I can definitely see why people like it. The pieces, oh my gosh, I'm half tempted to open the box and show you the pieces. Okay, fine, I won't. But the pieces are these beautiful plastic pieces. Okay, yeah, I'm going to. You know what? It's hard to describe, but look at these pieces, guys. If you haven't had a chance to check this game out, I mean, these pieces are beautiful.
Cases don't come with the game.
Yeah, these don't come with the game. These are all me, sorry. But they're beautiful plastic pieces that fit very nicely into the puzzles. And the goal is you're fulfilling puzzles with all the plastic pieces you gain. So I'm not going to go into a full rules description. This is one I will probably do a rules breakdown on at some point because I really enjoyed it.
I like how the tiles are double-sided.
Yeah.
Or not double-sided. I mean, they're double layered.
Yeah, they're dual layered. So the pieces fit in there nicely.
Yep. And they got little dots in it so you can tell how long the piece it has to be or how big the piece needs to be.
So but I really like it. There's lots of little pieces and they're all pretty colors. And so, yeah, this one was a fun one. I enjoyed it. It fit that puzzly piece for me. But so that is Project L.
Next one is one that we've seen a lot at the Dice Tower Retreat, and we were wanting to get it played, but it was very rarely on the shelf. So we just went ahead and bought it on this trip. Where did we get this one at?
We picked this one up at Yoda Quest in Cincinnati, Ohio. Very, very nice young owner. Showed us around his store, told us all about the history of Yoda Quest. Great selection. Oh my gosh, wonderful selection. So check them out if you're in Cincinnati.
So it's kind of a tiling, I guess you call.
It is a tile lane game, but you're
drafting.
It's right. It's a tile drafting game, tile lane game. You've got 4 tiles out, which are your Gosh, I'm drawing a total blank now. They're your not seasons, not your terrains. Thank you. You've got 4 terrain tiles out along with 4 animal tiles. Each terrain tile shows the types of animals that can be placed there. Basically, their habitats. So, but they may not match up with the tile that was placed there. So you start out with a 3-piece tile. Yeah, you start out with a 3-piece tile and you're slowly adding to that throughout the game. So each round you're taking 1 habitat tile and 1 animal tile, putting that habitat tile along with the rest of your lands. And then the animal tile has to be placed on something out there. If you can't place it, you have to toss it. There are ways to pick and choose where you can pick exactly what you want of the display, but that costs you, what are these, acorns, I think they are, or pine cones?
They're pine cones.
Pine cones. It was actually a really thinky game. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's just trying to get your groupings of your terrains to score, and the animals themselves have to be in a certain way to score as well.
Yeah, so there's different scoring options on this. So, and there are a lot of scoring cards. So there's a lot of variability in terms of how each game is going to score for each of your animal types. We actually got a chance. We bought this on the way down. This particular trip, I guess we should talk about that. This was a group trip with a bunch of friends that we've not gotten to see much of since the pandemic started. And we all went down to Gatlinburg and rented a cabin down there for 4 or 5 days. We played this the first morning we were there while everybody was still, waking up and getting breakfast and figuring out what we were going to do for the day. And I think by the time we finished, we had at least 4 of our friends standing over us watching us. It was very comical.
Well, your brother was really intrigued with it.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to get this to the table now that a few of them have seen it. So you can see it. And see how it plays with more players. I really enjoyed it too. I'll bet you it's going to be even better at 4.
Yeah.
All right, but that is Cascadia. So the next one, we picked this up at the Rusty Scabbard in Lexington, Kentucky. This is an expansion to the game of Professor Evil and the Citadel of Time. This is called the Architects of Magic. This one added some new tiles, some other new characters you can play, some new tiles to go after that are actually pieces of property of the professors. So they actually give you a little bit of help throughout the game, which if you go watch our playthrough, you'll see that we needed.
We lost.
If you haven't
Thanks
seen it,
to her.
No way. It was not my fault. Okay, I did kind of jinx us, but spoiler alert, we lost the game. Anyway, I'm looking forward to trying it with this and seeing if these help us any. We'll see what happens, but okay. Next
is a game that we've been looking at. We're really into the heavy games, and it's not as heavy as I thought it would be, but we still enjoyed it. We got this on the way down as well. Where did we buy this one at?
Picked that one up at VR Diversions.
It's an arcade.
VR Diversion Arcade in Harrison, Ohio.
And they had a whole room of board games.
Yeah, the name was very misleading because when we first looked at it, they didn't show a lot about their games, but they advertised board games, so we stopped.
So this is Pipeline. Great little, what would you call this game? It's not, well, it's kind of, it's a tile drafting.
Yeah, it's tile drafting, but it's resource management. It's
here's kind of, if you can see that's kind of what the board looks like.
I'll put a picture up.
And y'all see us keep looking up. That's where our monitor is, and we keep looking over there to see where we got the game at, because there's a monitor over there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game was a lot of fun. And like I said, it's kind of there is a area here where you go to different areas to buy pipes, which you're going to come down into your area and build a pipeline. And depending on however many colored pipes are on, if you go to that pipeline to do it, you get that many resources of that type. And you're trying to fill orders and contracts as well with the stuff you're getting from your pipes. So it's kind of a resource management. It's almost like a pickup and delivery game, almost.
Delivery for sure. Yeah, but I don't know.
But it's kind of long.
It's a fun game. Check it out. Maybe we'll.
This is one too. This store has awesome prices for games. So if you're in the
Yeah.
area
Yeah.
where's
This
that?
is in Harrison, Ohio. It was just outside of Cincinnati.
Go by there. They have some awesome games there. Great prices.
Yeah. Very nice staff too. They were very friendly. All right. Next one is another expansion that we picked up. We picked this guy up at Sci-Fi City in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh gosh.
This store, if you are in Knoxville, is worth a visit. When we walked in, I mean, it was normal. It was a good sized room, a few displays, and then I rounded the corner. And I felt like it was enormous. So they
like
had
a Viking in Valhalla.
I was pleasantly surprised, and we actually left there with 2 games, which we very rarely ever do when we're out. But we ended up picking up 2 games there. So the first one we picked up was, well, not really a game, it's an expansion. Tiny Town Villagers. I've seen this in a few places, never actually did it, but they were having a sale, so I bought it. Don't know much about what this one adds to the game.
It adds cards that gives you special powers on turns, and I was reading the notes last night a little
Just
bit.
give you some asymmetrical powers.
No, I think
No,
I don't know exactly how you get the cards yet. We haven't even opened the boxes. You can see the
as you can
shrink
see,
still
yeah,
on
it's
it.
still in shrink. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with this expansion and see what it does. But yeah, that is Tiny Town Villagers from Sci-Fi City in Knoxville, Tennessee.
So this next purchase was from Ollies as well.
Yeah.
This one you didn't put down which Ollies it was, though,
This
but
one, well, no, he's in Tennessee.
it was in Tennessee.
One of the
so
Tennessee
it's-
Ollies.
yeah, there was a few of them we went through too. It looked interesting. This game, it comes with, there are, as it says on the back, you play 12 characters out of Apostle 36. There is multiple different terrains. Each box only comes with 2 different terrains and only 12 characters. So every single box or game of Discovery Lands Unknown is
It's different.
different.
Yeah, they
So if you
mixed
play-
everything up and
Yeah, so
everything's
if you
different.
play this game and go all the way through, he said there's 4.
There's 2 sets of lands. Each set of land has 5 scenarios.
Right. So it's a scenario-based game. So
Yes.
But when you get done with the game, you can go and pick up another game, get other terrains, other characters.
Other terrains, other characters, other scenarios.
Mhm.
So every game they mixed and matched everything so that supposedly every game that was ever published is completely different. Well, I wouldn't say completely different because there's only 6 sets of lands to choose from and only 36 characters to choose from. But there's enough combinations there that you're going to have something different in every box. But we'll see how it plays. We'll play through the 2 we have and then go from there.
Yeah.
So that is Discover Lands Unknown. The next one on my stack is one we picked up on a fluke. We were actually long hauling for home and somebody got
my
cramp
knee
in his
started.
knee.
Well, it wasn't cramp, it was just sore.
Yeah, so we had to get out and stretch. So I really quick looked up and we were entering, where were we? We were in Kentucky still.
Mhm.
And this is actually in Francisville, Kentucky. We had just entered whatever city it was. This was on the outskirts of the city.
We were up near Cincinnati, I believe.
I think so. And I looked up real quick, board game stores near us, and this one popped up literally a mile from where we were. So it's like, all right, perfect timing. So we stopped in and I found Traintopia. I've seen this one before. I've always thought about picking it up, but there was always something else I wanted instead. And this one, they didn't have a huge selection. They had a decent selection, but it wasn't a big selection. But
that place was more into the miniatures because they
Yeah,
had
they
like
definitely had a
multiple
lot of
tables in
miniatures.
the back for miniatures.
yeah, but so we decided to pick up this guy, and I've heard really good things about it. I'm anxious to get it to the table, so we will see. But this was at Three Brothers Games in Francisville, Kentucky. Was when we picked this guy up.
And of course, it's a tile laying game, so
It's a tile laying game where you are, well, from what I can tell, you're building your train tracks, but unfortunately, that is all I know about it because I watched a playthrough the other night, but I was kind of tired, so I don't remember much of it. Sorry. So yeah, we'll try to report back on this guy if he's any good. All right.
So the next one I have over here, this is another one we got at Ollies. This is Magic the Gathering's Hero of, how the heck do you say that last word? Dominaria?
Yeah, Heroes of Dominaria.
So it is,
The board looks really interesting to me, and we have another Magic the
kind of
Gathering
reminds you of
game.
a scythe board almost, a
Yeah.
little bit.
I don't know.
Not really. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
We have another Magic the Gathering game, which I really did not like, but this one just looked more intriguing to me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Again, for
Don't
12
know a lot
bucks, it
about
was
it.
worth picking up and finding out. If we decide that it's not for us, then we will put it into the fundraiser collection and take it out
Is
on.
it really a fundraiser collection anymore? It's more of a traveling collection.
Yeah, okay, fine. The traveling
We
collection.
started this collection for the choir group at the high school we used to help out with as a fundraiser.
Yeah,
They'd have board game nights, they'd charge admission and have concessions and stuff to make money for their choirs.
yep.
Well, now it's more like a traveling, so we take games to wherever people want, which hasn't really started back up yet, but we keep adding to it. So
Yep. So worst case, it'll go over there and travel. All right. The next one on my side is Skyliners. We picked this guy up at the Williamsburg Game Cafe in Kentucky. With Skyliners, you are basically building skyscrapers. Everybody has different scoring conditions, and you are, each time you place a tile, as you can see, that it's not all one color. You're placing your color out, but you're not building the building by yourself. But everybody has different scoring conditions, and everything is completely based on your perspective. So my scoring condition may only be valid from my side of the board, whereas Greg's would be valid from his side of the board. So it's unique in that aspect. We haven't played it yet, obviously. I've looked at it out of the, but I don't know, we'll see. But this is, like I said, we picked this up from Williamsburg Game Cafe in Kentucky.
this guy was amazing.
He was,
He doesn't have a lot of selection.
yeah,
And he's just getting
started.
Really started. He's got great plans for this whole place. He has awesome prices on it.
yeah.
games.
He's got a couple of rooms where you can actually play. On the other side of, we walked around the corner from where his library was, and he gave us the grand tour. He, like I said, he's just opening up. We walked around, and there is this really neat 50s style
Diner
cafe counter. And I walked out of there going, oh, what I would not give to get my hands on this space and do something with it. So I really wish him the best. He has got a really incredible space there, and I think he's got some great plans. I hope they all work out for him. So if you are in the area of Williamsburg, Kentucky, check him out, give him some love. So anyway, that's Skyliners.
Okay, so the next game we got at Sci-Fi City. This is Thunderstone Questions. I've heard a lot of good things about the game and a few bad. I don't know who to believe or not. I'm not really big in scenario-based games, but this is a deck building scenario-based game, and I love deck builders.
Yeah.
And I keep looking up at the monitor. But we got a decent price. It was on sale, but every game in Sci-Fi City was on sale. So, but I figured, hey, what the heck? It was like $20 off the main game. So let's get it. Let's try it out.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm not sure a lot about it, but it's a deck builder game.
It's a deck builder.
How can you go wrong
with
with deck builders?
So, yep. Okay.
I'll put
I'm
that
not
back
going to
over
try
here.
to lift him down on the floor.
It's rather heavy.
Yeah. All right. The very last one we have for today, also picked up at Williamsburg Game Cafe, is Oath of the Brotherhood, The Chosen. And I'll be honest, I grabbed this one specifically because of the theme.
What I've heard, it's a lot like
Lords of Waterdeep.
Lords of Waterdeep.
Yes, it is a lot like Lords of Waterdeep. So it looked interesting. And like I said, the young man at Williamsburg Game Cafe had some really great prices, and we wanted to support him in this new endeavor of his. So we picked it up too. But I'm looking forward to at least trying it. Unfortunately, I don't know much about it. So
So
That's
that
that.
is the games we've picked up on our road trips. Also, if you like hearing us talk, we also do a podcast with two other people, Mark and Jess. It's the Meeple Society podcast. You can hear it on any place you normally hear podcasts at, like iTunes, Spotify, all those different types.
Yeah. This will probably be our last road trip for a little while. 2 in 2 months is a lot.
Hey, now just going out to the one game store is a little bit of a road trip. It's into a different county.
Okay. Anyway, so that is a lot of games in 2 months of road tripping. But there's always more. So we will catch you on the next road trip.